Hey everyone, it's Sam again. We just had our final exam of the semester, of the freshman semester. So this is the conclusion of week 16 here at IPAP. It's been a blast, but I'm glad to hit this milestone, a blast in a good and bad way. I've passed all of my courses and on to the sophomore semester. I've gotten A's and B's in my classes. So not the student that's looking for valedictorian or honor grad. But I'm happy with what I've accomplished so far, and I'm looking forward to having the next 10 or so days off before we have to hit the ground running again. It is nonstop here. This one semester counts for 23 credit hours according to the student handbook. So if that gives you an idea, many people have been out of school for a while, but in taking the prereqs, you should know that 12 credit hours is considered full-time. So this is almost double it, and some of the semesters are 26 or 27, something like that. So it a lot of this semester was building basics, and then each semester you're going to build upon them. So having a good foundation is definitely necessary. I got some questions about like PT and that sort of thing. The big army things that happen here at IPAP. So for PT, we don't PT together, we PT on our own. We do have a small group that gets together on Tuesdays and runs at the track in the morning. I don't do that personally. I love running and I run on my own, but I like studying in the mornings. So I reserve afternoons or weekends for running, and because I also run much further. Usually I'm trying to train for a half marathon that's taking place here in December. So hopefully that goes well. We'll see. I've never done one before. So we don't have PT though. What you may have to come in for early is like when we have 100% accountability for like after a change of command or something. The words escape me right now. I think my brain has just turned off because of the semester. But the accountability and responsibility for like after a new commander takes over and you show your CAC and dog tags and stuff. So just make sure you have a CAC and dog tags. Some people I know misplace their dog tags and then don't think they need them. But I would have them for sure before you get here. Nobody's gonna ask to see them the first day you get here, typically. But I would have them just on the off chance. It doesn't hurt, put them somewhere you'll remember them. We did have one brigade run this semester during like Fiesta San Antonio. That was interesting. I think it was like 3 miles-ish. And it was just like right near the schoolhouse. It started and ended there. So we had height and weight and a PT test April when we got here. We are not expecting one, as far as I know, for 6 months, the normal time you wait. I have not heard that we have one coming up, so hopefully we'll wait until October to knock that out. And I would still, because we don't have PT, I would still recommend to make sure you work out a couple days a week and at least stay in some sort of shape, because you can still be put on ABCP, like all the regular military rules apply. And it's hard to get lax. And when your cortisol spikes and you're just wanting donuts and stuff, so you got to keep yourself in check. We're all adults here, so they treat us like adults. Additionally, we only wore our ASUs once this semester. Because I believe that as a schoolhouse entirely, we wore them twice, but we did have lab one of the Fridays that we were supposed to wear them, my class, the freshman class. So we got to wear PTs instead. Anytime you have lab, you should be able to wear PTs. So we got lucky that month, but yeah, we don't wear the dress uniform a whole lot, but they do like us to wear them. One, because we're still in the Army and it is professional, similar to payday activities. Also, it's a way to kind of help keep you in check, is because you still have to fit into it. You have to fit into it at graduation, and then you don't want to get to graduation and realize you're busting your buttons on your blouse or something like that. So we do have monthly counselings with our counselor. They're a little bit different from what you typically see in the military, if you're thinking of like 4856, I believe. Because I know that the form changed, but I still think that they use a different form, if I'm not mistaken. I've definitely read my counselings. Usually it just says, here's where you stand with all of your classes, like your grade in each class as of that moment when the counseling was written. And then if there's any extenuating circumstances, like if you're going through anything, make sure it's noted on there, because they can't help you work through something if they don't know. So let your counselor know if you have a death in the family, you're going through a divorce, one of your kids is sick, if you're sick, so that can help explain sometimes if you have like just a rotten test and you don't do well. And so even though it may not help you, like if you fail a class, radiology, for example, I'm gonna use that because I know in sophomore semester there's only 2 tests, so if you fail one, you have to do extremely well in the other. So if you fail a course, it's not gonna like make you pass. However, it will give them reasoning as to, oh, they didn't do well because of this and this. They had other things that took away from studying or away from their focus. So it can kind of give them reason to keep you in the program, to just recycle and retain you rather than sending you back to Big Army. So you don't typically have to do like change of command, change of responsibility things. As the freshman class did one this semester, we did a change of responsibility. We were scheduled for the change of command for brigade as well. However, we ended up getting cut loose from that and didn't have to. They tried not to touch us because they know our workload is so large and like all of our free time is used for studying. So they definitely try to do their best. However, it doesn't always work out that way. So just be flexible and plan ahead when you know you have something that might interfere with your classroom hours or your study hours. There's still a monthly UA. So if you're ever thinking about stepping outside that box, definitely don't. Like, you shouldn't anyway, obviously, but be on the know that you're gonna have to pee in a cup every month. Well, obviously it's 10% of the population, so we usually have like 6 of our 54 go to pee in a cup each month. So sometimes 1 or 2 more, one or what have you, but know that that's something that of course still applies because you're still in the Army and you're considered active duty while you're here. So then we also have leave and pass. You can put in for pass or leave, and the leave is going to come from your leave, obviously, and passes are generally approved for like the weekend, or if you or a long weekend, or even break. He may do 4-day passes. I know this semester the commander is approving 4-day passes only for National Guard and Reserve that don't have leave saved up, so that they can take a longer leave during Christmas, because we will have 2 weeks off then. So he is approving passes for them from Saturday to Tuesday and Thursday through Sunday. However, everyone doing that also has to be here on Wednesday. So if they want to save their leave, they have to be able to be here on Wednesday. Typically during the week off between semesters, you don't do much. You might go in and reset the lab or clean or something. It usually doesn't take long. I think it took like 30 minutes for them to do it. Oh, our last PAI, the personal accountability inventory, our last PAI that I spoke about earlier was 2 weeks ago, I believe, but the one prior to that was during our the week before classes started. So because we're an all Army class, some of us were on leave, but those that weren't did have to come in for that. But if you're active duty and you want to take leave, or you want to take pass for like Thanksgiving weekend coming up, or just a regular weekend, it probably won't get approved as of right now. If you're active duty and you have leave saved up, the commander is probably going to have you take it and leave instead of a pass. I know somebody who tried to do the 2 4-days that's active duty and has leave, and they would not let him during this upcoming week off. They told him if he wanted to take off, he'd need to use leave for the whole week. So that is a commander discretion kind of thing. So just be aware of, you may get feedback that you may not always know why, but obviously commanders have their reasons for everything. If you are going to have appointments or absences through the semester, I highly recommend that you do it during the courses that come easier to you, obviously, and obviously try not to miss many courses, but they do understand that sometimes you have to get things taken care of. So there's just a form that you fill out, and then each teacher will sign. You'll fill it out, and then you'll take it to each teacher on what class you're gonna miss, or what class is if you're gonna miss multiple, and then your advisor will sign, and he or she will give you a copy of it back. So it's not a bad thing. So don't think you're not gonna be able to schedule appointments. Also, I looked at our schedule was a little heavier in the beginning of the semester, but as the semester goes, it got lighter. And I've already seen the freshman and sophomore schedule for this coming semester, and there's plenty of free time to schedule appointments, as long as whatever specialist or doctor you have to see isn't very tight on time. So you can schedule most appointments without even missing any class. So that's awesome. The other thing is, if you do miss class, you'll want to get with somebody on maybe what your teacher harped on more, so you can kind of know what to study more of. We do have our S6 in our class. He records the lectures and posts them on his private YouTube channel, so you won't be able to find them if you search. But he records them so that we can, if we missed a class or if we didn't understand something, we need to see it or hear it again, then we can go back and find it. It's really come in handy for most of us. If I leave a class early for an appointment, or I can't make it to a class for an appointment, then I go back and listen to it. Usually you can also listen to it on 1.5 or 2 times speed, so that it doesn't take the full 2 hours to listen to it. There's only one instructor in my freshman semester where I couldn't really fast forward her lectures, because she speaks very quickly. But I loved all of the instructors. I think that they all want to see you succeed. Some want you, if you don't have just PAs, you have microbiologists, you have toxicologists, and the list goes on. That's just this semester. Some of them want you to be awesome PAs. Some of them want you to be awesome PAs that love their subject. So it's all what you make of it, but I will say take the end of course critiques very seriously. It's anonymous, so when you get to the end of a course, you'll take the evaluation for it, and it's great to put honest feedback. You want to make it better for the classes coming behind you, and they definitely look at it. So I recommend it. It'll change, your study habits and everything will change depending on what class you're studying for. So sometimes we use study groups. Me and a couple other people, we have a study group. Sometimes it helps if I talk to people that aren't in the study group, kind of get another view or more information. There's also Kahoots made, Quizlets made. If you go on Kahoot or Quizlet, you can often find at least some of them. You may not find all of them if they have their profile set to private or something like that. But may be able to find them, but I also encourage you to take it with a grain of salt and somebody in your class to make some as well, because the courses change every semester. The slides are changed, they're updated, things are taken out, things are put in. So don't use any Kahoots or Quizlets that you find for subject matter. Like, that's all you need to do, because it's not. A lot of people stick to just the slides when they're studying, or they make their own Kahoot or Quizlet. I definitely encourage you to try everything and see what works for you. I personally made a couple Kahoots. I feel like they help people in my class better than they helped me. But maybe it's also, it was so much information that I had trouble remembering it all. The slides are extremely valuable. I encourage you to use like Notability or a similar app. I download everything onto my Notability, and then I just mark through it. I underline, I star, I circle. And make notes on the slides that will help you remember things better. The instructor might say something that connects two different things, or anything you can do to help yourself remember or is better. Some people print the slides. It's not always the best. You're having 200 plus slides each block of each subject in the freshman semester, so it is quite a lot of information and quite a lot of paper. So if you're one that likes slides, I encourage you to print it out in the handout style that has 3 slides with lines next to the slides, so you can write on the slides and you can make notes on the side of the slide, or write questions that might help you remember certain points from the slide. That's my recommendation. A couple people I know have done it, so it seems to work for them. I'm trying to get away from that, because I do know the further we get into this course, the more slides there will be. So if you are interested in the Bible study or IPAS things I've talked about before, I still encourage it. I'm in both, and we just had our end of semester Bible study as a whole. We had our senior send-off for Bible study last week, so we gave our seniors words of wisdom and read verses to encourage them to go out and be disciples to the PA program, as well as Christ, obviously. And then we had our Bible study dinner. We did pizza at the park, which was really cool, on Fort Sam, and that was Monday evening. And then the women of Bible study like to get together separately as well. I'm not sure about the men. I believe they try to. But the women's Bible study is a dinner out tomorrow. I likely won't go because I'm on a new diet from a doctor. But everything's awesome with all the people I've met there. They've helped me grow. A lot of upperclassmen, so I can ask questions about what I should expect in future semesters and what they did to work through the harder courses and that sort of thing. You always want to get multiple opinions, and then just take each with a grain of salt and see what works best for you. And then IPAS, we just had a volleyball tournament. It was really awesome. I took tons of pictures, some of which were posted on the IPAS Instagram, and on the I don't believe they are posted on Facebook, but they're definitely on the IPAS Instagram. Our social media person posted them there, and I thoroughly enjoyed the time that we had together. A lot of nice fun and laughs and fellowship on the volleyball court. I don't play like a lot of people do, but it was fun. And the sophomores won, so congrats to them. And they ended up getting, I believe it was bagels, donuts, coffee, etc. On last Friday, right after their test, is a congratulatory breakfast. The faculty was close though, so don't count them out. I believe that's all I had to say for today. I feel like I'm leaving something out. I made some notes on my board as usual, but I am ready to take the next 10 days of not working my brain so hard so that I can do well next semester. If you guys have any questions, again, feel free to reach out as always, and hope to see you here. Bye.